What was once hidden has now been illuminated. There is something about something hidden in the dark now being exposed. I feel like this is maybe an internal struggle the source now revealed to you. Um, this could also be someone who was lurking, or something about a past person or a previous program now that was once like hidden as a factor in your success, in your elevation, now being revealed to you. Please only take what resonates and disregard what doesn't feel a fit to you. I'll share what I've been getting, and you can take the messages as they resonate. I'm getting lights on, so I feel like there's like a flip the switch, trip the switch. This could be like flip the breaker kind of thing, where the system needed to be reset. This could also be your light coming into a scenario, a situation, workplace, family system. It does feel like an idea like came to mind, like, oh, I get it now, right? Like something hidden in plain sight, being like, oh, that's what was happening. It's also getting saboteur. And from the Merriam-Webster definition, this is one that practices sabotage. And this can be this energy that you can't lead. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And I feel like you might have posed a threat to someone, they're telling me right now. And in the process of trying to take you down, they self-sabotage. They inflict some sort of pain on you that had a backlash of some sort. It's like your light kind of like exposed their demons, or your light irritated their demons. I'm seeing someone like illuminated. It's almost like this bounce back game of their energy, their projections, their social slander just kind of like bounced away. So the idea of practicing sabotage is just like an interesting concept. Like, we can practice meditation, we can practice yoga, we can practice mindfulness. It's a system we put into place to elevate standards, to open our awareness, our field of awareness. In this case, a saboteur practicing sabotage, they're trying to crumble a foundation, trying to like break things, cause harm. The word benign came out, and take this symbolically, not as medical advice, please. I feel like what you thought was benign could have the opportunity to cause harm in the long term. It's like something in the system, something that came to your awareness could be harmless at one point, but if it wasn't de-escalated or the cycle broken, then maybe it could cause a greater harm. This could also be you thinking that something was no big deal, when in fact it was causing harm to your system in some way. I've been getting toxic from Britney Spears. That song coming up a lot, and it's coming up today, which is why I press record. Lots of layers there. This does feel like someone tried to create some sort of entrapment, and recently I came across my feed. It was an interview of a woman that was dating someone, and somehow she felt like she described that she felt stupid, like she thought she was smarter than this, but somehow this man like conned her out of money, some sort of money scheme, and using romance, her heart, as a way to get to that. So there's something here, some sort of layer of didn't see it coming, someone having ill intent, or little escalating to something larger. You might find something more in both of those. They were also giving me rewrite the tale like fairy tale. This could also be tale as in like the tale ending, like the cycle ends here, or you get to decide what happens in the end, or co-creating. I know you're not above the spiritual law, but it's like you have a say in co-creating with the divine. Could be something to the Renaissance period, this idea of rebirth, regeneration. Definitely a lot to illuminating. Rightfully so. You could have taken a course of action, made a choice that was right for you. And maybe the choice that you made, the switch you flipped, or maybe you flipping the script, someone didn't see that coming, that you would stand on your own 2 feet, that you would stand up for yourself. And then you standing up for yourself, you illuminated the truth for others to see, giving others permission to empower themselves for a greater, more sovereign future. Awakening. Oh, we got it. Maybe you felt defeated. Maybe someone's words worked for a while and they no longer do. Oh, there's a little bit of, what do we do with this? There's a little bit of nudity there. Let's see. How do we handle that? Let's do like that. All right, so some sort of balancing I do. That's what this card is about. But it came from you speaking up. You picking up your sword and choosing your thoughts, choosing your words, speaking something into existence rather than allowing those projections. And it took some patience. Maybe someone was pouring into you, or you were pouring into someone else and it was depleting you, or what someone was pouring into you was like, you're very generous, you're willing to pour in, and then you realize, wait a minute, what's really going on here? New perspective. The divine illuminated a truth. You had to come to see it for yourself. And there's this patience in this regeneration. This period of transformation, but not only for you, but for others. This idea of rewriting your tale, this fairy tale, Cinderella story, Hansel and Gretel, you name it. Someone's trying to use your energy for themselves and almost using your magic against you, like to see you up. Using your generosity to their advantage. I'm saying that because of that interview that came to mind. Shuffling the cards a little loud. I think that the deck's upside down in my hand both times. Knight of Pentacles. From this, I'm going to say you're shielded. This could be like a connection. Like something you just, there's sometimes things don't work out, right? There's divine timing at play where things don't work out, but it's divine protection. The divine is shielding you from something. There could be a sacred union that is in your future, and so the divine is protecting you from this other connection coming in. Someone's sabotaging your divine path. Just like you have this mission to shine light, to illuminate, someone might have a mission to dim. This really does feel like this shielding energy. So there's just some sort of like slower start to something. This could be a business partnership. There's something more here. And I feel like with the deer, while you could take this as like joyful love energy, this could, I feel like this is about you trusting your intuition about who's meant to be on your path and who is not. The divine is giving you that information. What makes you happy? I'm hearing the sun will come out tomorrow. Maybe you have curly hair, or someone in your family or someone you're closely connected with has curly hair. Devil. I think this is what this shielding energy is coming from. Some sort of excess, some sort of Seven of Cups of confusion. Two of Swords, not knowing which direction to take. Someone purposely tried to confuse you. Have patience with yourself, because you might have felt like you were lured into a path and you thought, I'm smarter than this. I should have known better. And the divine says, I have got you. I've been protecting you this whole time. I needed you to open your eyes and have a new perspective. Don't fear. Don't fear, my love. Balance your energy. I think someone new is coming in for you. Or you're learning what is a true connection. And recognizing when there's divine timing at play to redirect you away, and divine timing at play to redirect you in. This is where patience and this courage, that Nine of Swords energy I'm going to take is having courage. There's something that was in excess, and I feel like this is someone else's energy in your path. I feel like this is some sort of tactic from this person that likes to sabotage. The fish is standing out, maybe carp, arboretum. When I see the carp, I'm thinking about feeding the fish at the National Arboretum in DC. Bonsai tree. Okay, they do have an exhibit there, bonsais, and in that moment it's like those trees, they're small, they're beautiful, they're well trained. So this confusion that someone put in on your path, right, being of two minds about someone, is this for me or is this not? They were trying to train you, but I think you broke free of this. And with the Ace of Wands, they could have used passion as a way to train you. This could also be you getting your passion back. I'm hearing ducks in a row. Ducks in a row. To rediscover your own happiness, your divine sovereignty. You had to rise above someone breadcrumbing you. And you might, there could have been some tactics on your part to get out of this situation, especially if you are DV survivor, right? It's not always easy to leave. Ten of Swords, you're dropping this burden and choosing your sovereignty. And you're going to take a step out of this entrapment that someone tried to create for you. I'm hearing it imposed a threat. I feel like you were the threat to them. It could be you the threat to their own ego. Or maybe they use the idea that you would be threatened by stepping into your own light from your previous program. Some sort of like toxic bond, some sort of like they knew well enough to use your emotional insecurities against you to keep you away from your own happiness. But I think you're breaking free from whatever this is. And you've got to use your intuition to get you there. This is part of you rewriting the script to who is meant to be on your path and who is not. So we're seeing twice the Two of Cups and twice the Temperance card. So this idea of pouring in and maybe outpouring, what comes in, what comes out, who you're connected to feels huge here. I'm hearing they're living in regret. Utmost. So maybe others have the utmost respect for you. Maybe deep down inside, whoever was sabotaging a connection had the utmost respect for you. Delineated. Distraction. This idea of imposing a threat is coming up again. Not sure what that's about. Energy medicine, the ability to heal with one's own empathetic, ethereal, astral, mental, or spiritual energy. Okay, so maybe someone had like someone you were connected to had an energy attachment. You posed a threat to that energetic parasite, and that's why they lashed out at you. You posed a threat to whatever systems were in play on the dark side. Card fell. Let me see what that is. Twin Flame. The Twin Flames mission is to evolve spiritually in order to harmonize with the perfection of the universe. So I'm going to take these Two of Cups and the Twin Flame. I'm going to take that as a soul contract. And with this rewriting the tale is that you co-create with the divine what you will and will not accept on your path. You could have posed a threat to someone's ego and their way of performing rather than their way of being. And you illuminated a truth to someone else through your own sovereignty, your own light. It's just the way that you showed up authentically imposed a threat to the way someone showed up with a mask, the way they performed rather than choosing to be. This was always meant to be, this Two of Cups, for this connection to come in and for you to call back your power. You keep it real. You keep it real. They didn't expect that. I think they thought don't think they realized you knew they were putting up a performance, that they were, there could be some sort of social slander, and the divine cued you into that you can't protect this person, or you can't protect this person from themselves and whatever kind of ball of yarn is already tangled up, whatever tangled web that they chose to weave. Like, you can't protect them from the backlash or the cycle that they set in motion. That's why you were meant to like step aside to let this chaos play out on their own. They were working with the dark side in some way, and you remain stoic. You weren't meant to be afraid of this new perspective. You're not meant to be afraid to connect deeper. Lesson learned, I'm hearing. You're meant to remain happy. Feral. Maybe you came off as like this feral cat and they wanted to tame you, and you're like, yeah, no. Maybe they used your empathy. Jealous. Green with envy. They gave you a lot of talk, and you just learned to stay in your lane. You say, nah, you know, I see that you're just talking a lot of smack. I'm staying away from whatever this is. Shadow. You expose their shadow. You expose their shadow. This comes back to the beginning of the reading, this idea that lights are on, this bit of exposure. And maybe something was hidden from someone else within themselves with this Two of Cups energy. And your light exposed something within their shadow that was meant to be released, that they kept hidden from others, and you exposed that. Talked a lot of smack. You're meant to take care of yourself. You're meant to stay in your own lane. You know, you're not meant to be depleted. Maybe you learned to listen deeply to what was said and what was not being said. It's sad, but jealousy can happen in interpersonal relationships, and that's why they act out. There's some sort of malicious intent when you empathetically, like you felt empathy for someone. Maybe you wanted to weather the storm for them or with them. Maybe your energy, I'm seeing that umbrella, kind of shielded them from their own toxicity. Maybe there's some sort of like energy pull where that your energy kind of elevated them so that they could continue on the cycle, and the divine told you to pull back and let the cycle naturally play out without you shielding their energy. That you're meant to remain feral. You're not like meant to be like kept in a cage. We saw the Eight of Swords energy. You're not meant to be entrapped, and energetically, emotionally, mentally, they were trying to play a game of some sorts to trap you. Maybe they thought you would stay afraid. Maybe they thought you'd continue to pour into them rather than into yourself. Maybe you would choose them as your happiness rather than settle into your own light and choose your divine sovereignty. Maybe this is because you brought them so much light. I think this light that you illuminated or that you radiate was a source of supply for them. Maybe on some level you felt this fear of cutting them off, and this could have been what you're picking up from them rather than your own energy. Venus, love, God, Athena, goddess of love and war. The urge to be sociable and express affections, harmony, values, and beauty. Goddess of love and war. There's a song coming to mind. I can't pull up the lyrics in my brain right now, but I'm getting like the sound of the piano at the beginning of the song. Nothing's fair in love and war. I'll try to put the song down in the description. Pluto. The urge to penetrate the depths of experience and experience renewal, deep transformation, regeneration, and evolution. I do feel like you're in evolution. You're evolving from this. You might look at where Venus and Pluto are in your charts or what's moving astrologically. Teaching, I think you're teaching others how to treat you, right? You had to stand your ground and not be afraid to do it. The divine establishment to understand, clearly explain, and changing lives by helping others to understand. You taught someone by being real. Self-reflection. the ability to be aware of yourself on many levels, including physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional aspects of ourselves. You called back your power. You said enough's enough. All right, gonna leave it here. Please only take what resonates. Sending you lots of light and love on your path.